Hi everyone, I hope all is well. I'm just going to take you through now a movement preparation for those of you that are more likely to go out for more runs now. I'm a massive fan of running, however, it does actually put a lot of load on the joints unnecessarily if you have a lot of muscle imbalances. Now the workout I'm going to take you through today isn't necessarily specific, however, some of the movements that we're going to be doing will deal with some of the typical tightnesses that the body will go through after going through running, and it will help alleviate some of these tightnesses before you go out and run, helping you then to run better, run with less pain and do less damage to your joints. So a lot of what I'm going to take you through today is going to be movement prep based exercises. We're looking at compression via trigger point, so I've got my trigger point foam roller here, and I've got a trigger point massage ball. Now if you don't have these, don't worry too much. There are other exercises in the routine that will help. If you can, I would highly recommend purchasing either one of these, and if you don't have them, skip these parts of the workout out for today until you do have them. So what we're going to do is compress first of all with our foam rollers. Following that, we're going to lengthen the muscle tissue, and then we're going to activate the muscle tissue that we need to activate to help run more effectively, more efficiently, and reduce the load on your joints, okay? So next part, I'm going to actually take you through some of these exercises now. Like I say, if you don't have them, skip this bit, move on to the bit afterwards. I'm going to show you through some key trigger point exercises to do. To begin with, we're going to actually use your trigger point massage ball. Now if you don't have this, do not worry, there is alternatives you can use. If you have a tennis ball, awesome, you can try to use that. Not as effective, but can still do a good job. You can also use a golf ball if you can handle that little bit more discomfort because it's a little bit more dense, a little bit firmer. Okay, so you've got the option of a golf ball, and if you've got a lacrosse ball or a hockey ball, potentially you can use that as well, but again it's a little bit more dense, so these are awesome. You've got a little bit of give in them, but they're also quite firm. Okay guys, so this is going to be quite difficult to see. I'm going to give you a zoomed in version as well. I've got the trigger point massage ball in my hand. What I'm going to do is place this directly on the floor, right in front of my right foot. Okay, so we're going to actually foam roll underneath the foot into the foot sole. Now this is very effective at reducing that tension and tightness underneath the foot, because as we run, we're contracting constantly all those little muscles that are involved in moving the foot laterally, internally, and even coming up onto your toes and back down. So we're just trying to release those muscles to stop over tightness and stop unnecessary pain. Okay guys, so unfortunately you can only see my feet right now. Okay, just to give you a little bit more of a close-up. So my right leg here, I'm just going to place by the ball of the feet here. Okay, so the first zone is ball of the feet to the middle of the foot, and your second zone is the middle of your foot towards my heel up here. They're your two zones. So I'm going to start on the ball of my feet. With my other foot, I'm keeping it nice and close to the ball so that I can keep my balance. I'm going to push down my foot into the ball. I'm going to apply that pressure down by the ball of the feet. I'm going to apply some weight into my leg and roll 4 times, just like discussed before. Okay, and then your movement here is across. You're trying to turn. Now you want that ball to try and stick, so you've got to roll the foot a little bit across the ball and out, all whilst keeping that pressure down through the leg to apply that pressure. So you're going across, and you can also add a circular motion in here as well, 4 circular motions in that zone. Now that was zone 1. Obviously you can then move into zone 2 and repeat again on the other side. Okay guys, so the second area that we're going to foam roll is going to be your calves. Now what we want to do with your calf muscle here is we're going to separate into 2 zones. Your first zone is the lower half, and then your second zone is the upper half. Okay, I'm going to take you through exactly what you're going to do. So we're going to place your calf onto your foam roller. Now you've got 3 different zones, and potentially with your foam roller you may have a number of different zones, not particularly identical to this trigger point foam roller. You will have zones that you can use. Now you put it on the softest and most flattest part to begin with, and as you want more intensity you can change it to the more rigid or bobbly part of the foam roller. So we're going to start by placing your calf muscle onto the foam roller. We're going to support our weight with our other leg and with our hands. So what we're going to do here is going to lift your bum up off the floor, and we're going to roll back and forth within that zone, so zone 1 to begin with, 4 times, up and down, nice small movements. What we're trying to do here is identify where it's a little bit tender and where it's a little bit sore. Okay, once you've got that, I want you to pause on it. I'm going to drop my bum back down onto the floor. I'm now going to place my other leg on top of the other leg. Okay, and with this leg I'm going to push down into the foam roller. Okay, from here you're going to feel a little bit more tension. You're looking for about 8 out of 10 for intensity of that tension. What we're doing here is we're going to roll across side to side, roll from the hip across the muscle. Now this is going to reduce that muscle tightness by applying that compression across the muscle fibres, which is a little bit more effective than running with the muscle fibres. Okay, so we're going to go 4 times side to side, find the most tender point. You may find it as you go. Again, I've got the worst point again now. What I'm going to do with my right leg is on the foam roller. I'm going to point my right toes up and down 4 times. Okay, again, we're compressing and relaxing the muscle here as we push down onto that foam roller. 4 of these. Once you've done 4 of these, we're then going to do a circular motion. So we're going to lift your bum up if necessary. You can keep your bum down and you can slide your bum along the floor in a circular motion. Now if you want more intensity, just lift your bum and do exactly the same here. Okay, you can see me pulling a few facials. It is quite tender. Bear with the pain. If it's an 8 out of 10, just make sure you're breathing nice big breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, I've done zone 1, so I'm going to do exactly the same on zone 2. So I'm just going to roll that foam roller a little bit higher and repeat on the second part of the calf. Now what I want you to do is exactly that process and repeat on the other side for me. So that is how to foam roll your calves. Okay, next guys, we're going to foam roll into your quads at the front of your thigh. Now I'm going to show you to begin with on your right leg, and then we're going to swap to the left. So we're going to split it up into 2 zones as we previously have done. And again, the whole idea is you've got 4 rolls to try and identify exactly where the tender point is. Now you want to start close to the knee, just like so. You won't be able to see right now, but my other knee is up nice and high. So I'm actually going to swap over so you can see this now. So we're going to go onto that left leg. So placement's exactly the same, just above the knee. I'm going to bring this knee out to support my weight. And again, I'm just going to roll 4 times. You're just trying to find that tender point. Okay. If you find that tender point early, then pause on it. And what we're going to do here is 4 heel to bumps. Okay. Make sure you breathe and regulate your breathing all the way through. Big breath in and big breath out. From here, once you've done your 4 heel to bums, we're going to place the opposite hand. So if it's your left thigh on the roller, it's going to be your right hand that's on the floor. And what we're going to do here is rotate across that muscle. 4 times. Make sure you regulate that breathing. Nice big breath in and breathe out as you roll across. 4 of these. Just going to be releasing that muscle tightness within the quads. Once you've done that, you're going to go back into a plank position. Okay, and we're going to roll in a circular motion 4 times. Again, regulating your breathing all the way throughout. Awesome, so that's how to foam roll your quads. That was obviously zone 1. You're then going to repeat in zone 2 and do exactly the same on the other leg. We have one more foam rolling exercise with your actual trigger point foam roller. We are going to look at foam rolling your adductor now. Often the adductor, which is the inside of the thigh, can get very tight when you run, especially when your lower back and your core doesn't activate efficiently. Now, to do this, what we're going to do, I'm going to show you on your right leg. So, we're going to open up the hip. Okay, I'm going to be in a plank position. My right leg is onto the roller. I'm trying to bring my knee above or in line with my hip. So you're 90 degrees with the knee, okay, and 90 degrees with the hip. Okay, I'm going to apply myself into that plank position. From here, starting at the knee, we're going to roll across to the middle of the thigh and back 4 times. I'm just going to readjust myself just to fit in with the room. So here, roll across and back 4 times for me. So as you roll out and across into the middle of the thigh, you're going to push down into the roller. Find that tender point. Once you've got it, I want you to completely relax that upper body. And you're going to try and lift heel towards the ceiling. See how I'm just turning from my hip, I'm externally rotating from the knee. Okay, 4 of those. Then what we're going to do is 4 circular motions Okay, rolling body along the floor, push down into the roller as you do so, and then after that you're going to do 4 leg straightens. Okay, also while trying to keep applying pressure down into that foam roller. Okay, so that is how to foam roll your adductor. Again, just like before, that was zone 1. You're going to go a little higher into zone 2 and then repeat onto the other side for me. Your next exercise, again, we're going back to the trigger point massage ball. Now, as mentioned before, you can alternatively use, if you haven't got this, you can use a tennis ball, use a golf ball, which is a little bit too firm, but you may be able to manage that. You can even use a lacrosse ball. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to place this underneath your glute, okay, so underneath your bum. What we're going to do to begin with is position that ball directly in the middle of your bum underneath you. Okay, we're then going to turn and lay onto your side. Okay, as comfortable as you can. Now from this position, you want to try and find that tender point in the side of your glute. Okay, so we're not on the belly of the glute, we're on the side of the glute, so the side of the hip, and that ball's just underneath here. Okay, you're trying to find that little bit of tenderness. It's almost like a pinch. You'll feel slight nerve, maybe a slight little bit of nerve pain, not to worry. Okay, it's just that pinching position where you're compressing the muscle. Now what I'm going to do, I can feel that compression here in my right glute. I'm going to now raise and slide my knee up along the mat, bend through the knee and then straighten. So we're just trying to compress through your glute medius here, which is responsible for stabilising the hip as you run. 4 of these, and it's pretty much as simple as that. Okay, once you've done 4 of those, you're then just going to repeat exactly the same on the other side. That's your compression done. We're now going to look at mobilising through the body and move through the joints a little bit more. So we're lengthening that muscle tissue and mobilising through your joints. Your first exercise is your couch stretch, but we're also going to mobilise through the ankle at the same time. So you're going to go in that hip flexor position. My right knee is down on the floor. My right foot is up onto the couch. I'm trying to extend through the hip here. Okay, you want to almost tuck your pelvis underneath. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to rock my body weight forwards. See how my spine is in line with my knee to my hip. So you want your spine in line with your knee and your hip. And I'm just going to lean forwards and bring this front knee as far forwards over my toes as possible. You should feel a nice stretch here through the Achilles. What you can even do here is then even drop your right hand, so my right knee and right leg are on the sofa. I'm going to drop my right hand and my left hand inside of that foot, and I'm just going to go into small circular motions forwards and round. This is going to mobilise through the hip, but also through the ankle joint. You want to make sure that that left foot, that left heel and left ankle stays flat on the floor, so you can hold that ankle down. Okay, so circular motion, 4 of these, and then you're going to come back up into a nice hip flexor stretch here to stretch through the quad muscles and all those muscles that attach into the hip. Again, the quads are very dominant when we run, so we just want to release some of this tension here before we go. Okay, I'm going to go lean forwards again, place my hand back down and rotate into that circular motion with my hip, trying to keep my heel down and get that knee as far forwards as possible to then come back up into that nice strong hip flexor stretch position. Okay, you're going to repeat this for about 10 times and then swap to the other side. Next stretch is going to be a calf stretch. Okay, so the calves get very tight when you run, of course, because of the movement through the toes, coming up onto the toes constantly and back down with the heel as you run. So your calves are going to get very, very tight. So we have to lengthen this muscle tissue, which is what we're going to do now. We're going to stretch through your calves against the wall. This is what I find is one of the most effective stretches for the calf. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the wall, have a little look at what I'm doing, and this is what we're going to get you to do. Okay, so what we need to do, grab the wall, hopefully you can see me in this image. We're going to drop you down as low as you can, so find a place on the wall where you can hold on to something. Okay, we're going to drop as low as possible with your hips. I want you to try and get your heel as close to the wall as possible, and then from there, what you're trying to do is then push your hip in the air towards the wall. Okay, try not to let that heel move. And you should feel a nice stretch all the way down the back of the calf here. You're just going to hold for about 10 to 15 seconds. As soon as it starts to ease off, I want you to keep trying to push your hip up in the air towards that wall. See how I'm starting to get a little bit straighter with the body. Okay, I want you to keep going until you're almost getting your hip towards the wall. And then once you're there, so you're looking at about a minute overall, you can then swap sides. Okay guys, so that's a really awesome calf stretch that you can do at home. Just hold onto the wall or find something nearby that you can hold onto. Now that we've lengthened your muscle tissue, we're now going to activate some muscles, some key muscles that are important for running. Okay, so I've got 3 simple exercises that are all body weight that you can do just before going for a run. So this is your first exercise. You've got a kneeling side plank. Okay, so what I want you to do is lie directly on your side. I want your ankles, knees, hips and shoulders all in line. Okay, what we're going to do with the bottom leg, you're going to bend it at 90 degrees. Okay, so my bottom leg is bent at 90 degrees. And then from there, what we're going to do is just raise those hips up and hold. So we're aiming for 30 seconds. So I want a 30-second hold on each side. Okay. Once you've done 30 seconds on one side, we're just going to drop you back down and you'll repeat on the other side. Okay, so I'll actually switch this space, you can still see me. Okay, so we're going to have 30 seconds then. Bottom leg bent, 90 degrees up. Make sure your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. Okay, so then you'd hold a 30-second position here. You should feel it in your glutes and your obliques. Okay, so the side of your tummy and in the underlying glute. Okay, so this is going to activate those areas, especially the glutes that are important for running. Your second activation exercise is going to be a glute bridge with overhead reach. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to start on your feet on the floor, kind of in a sit-up position, but you're going to have the hands on the floor as well. What we're going to do here, pointing your fingers away from you, so my fingers are pointing kind of behind and away from me. What I'm going to do here is raise up through the hip, and you're going to rotate, lift up through one arm, rotate through the spine to then come back down. Okay, you're going to repeat this for 12 to 16 reps on each side. Slowly come down, keep nice and controlled through your core, belly button pulled to your spine. Okay, as I'm up in this position, I'm squeezing through my glutes and through my hamstrings to the back of my thighs, and then dropping back down. So like I said, 12 to 16 reps on one side. Once you've done that, you're going to swap and repeat on the other side. Okay, so you're getting a nice stretch here through your spine, at the same time as getting your glutes and hamstrings to really activate, ready to stabilise you as you run. Your third exercise is a plank with upper torso rotation, really activating and pulling in belly button to spine. Okay, again, we're using those muscles that are going to help stabilise you when you run, and we're going to open up through the arm and the upper torso to help create a little bit of instability that you've got to then contract against, exactly as you would when you run. So your exercise looks like so. So you're going to start in your high plank position. From here, we're just going to open up, try to keep your hips pointing down towards the floor. Don't let the hips open. So I want you to open up as far as you can through your spine. Place back down and swap to the other side. Okay, you're aiming for 12 to 16 reps there. Now with these exercises, they're either 30 seconds on each side or 12 to 16 reps on each side. You're going to repeat them 3 rounds over, and then you're ready to go for a run. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now, because I've done all of that prior to making this video. So I'm off for a run now. I hope you enjoy your run. Any tips on running, feel free, drop me a message on my Instagram or drop me a private message.